information and some what's going on this plane, this Earth, right? Let's get into it. Let's get into the glaciers, right? Glaciers are melting, sea level is rising, and people are not really in tune with this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much distractions going on. It's a lot of different things going on, but as that's going on, these glaciers are melting. So we're gonna get into glaciers, right? If you look at it, it's like glaciers, her, like another earth, her. So let's look at it. What's a glacier? It's a slowly moving mass of or river of ice formed by the accumulation and compaction of snow on mountains or near poles, right? When you think about a mountain, right, mountains are really just like full of rocks and mud, forming together when the water comes from the sky or the ground. It's forming all this dirt and mud together and forming these stones into a mountain. That's what really a mountain is. If you really been around mountains and go see it yourself, you'll really see like it's a lot of rocks or dirt forming together in water like sand or something, and it just all like collided together and made a huge mountains or whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into this. We're going to get into these glaciers because the glaciers are melting, you know, and sea level is rising. And the glacier that is the size of Florida is called the Twats Glacier. All right, let's get into this. I'm gonna show you right here. Well, this is the same pages. Let's go and read some real quick. Wait, let me go back. I'm gonna show you some real quick. How that by 2030, 2040, between those 10 years right there, it's like a lot of these cities are going to be underwater. You know, a lot of things going to be underwater. See, let's go to these questions and say, what would happen to the glacier in 2050? For example, if today's level of EMU emissions, that's the people who are spraying, right, in the sky, are greatly reduced. Glaciers within the Everest region are projected to lose between, on average, 39% of their ice by 2050 and around 83% by 2100. You know, by 2100, it's really we are really inside the age of Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? We're in the pre now. Is getting more in tune with the Aquarius age. For example, RCPs, the average loss is projected to be much higher, right? So they were like, if all the ice melted from the Antarctica and from if all the ice right here, said what happens if the glaciers melt, right? We're gonna go. It said if all the ice covers Antarctica, Greenland, and the mountain glaciers around the world were to melt, sea level rise about 70 meters. That's 230 feet. The ocean would cover all the coastal cities, and the land area would shrink significantly. But many cities, such as Denver, would survive. But Denver, I just was doing research on that. Colorado, let's go here real quick. We'll just go in. Colorado River is drying up, right? The Colorado, but the Colorado River is drying up. The drought, you see what I'm saying? And like people, you're not noticing that. And then I just showed a video basically that like 6 states rely on this Colorado River. We have Colorado, of course, Wyoming, Utah. Yeah, see about 7 because Mexico. But you got, see right here, there it is, Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming, and then they also have Mexico that rely on this Colorado River because it's starting to dry out. So let's read it. As the Colorado River shrinks, the 7 states in the western The 7 states in the western United States that rely on it for water and power need to cut their use dramatically, right? Keep the biggest revenues from getting critical law, according to federal analysts. But yeah, we're gonna go real quick. Say from June, federal officials gave leaders in states to draw from the river: Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming. Um, in mid-August, deadline to come up with a plan to conserve 2 to 4 million acre feet of water across the southwestern watershed. 1 acre foot is more than 325,000 gallons. Federal officials said they wanted to see cuts from all 7 states from every sector. Right, so they said water stored in Colorado's river's biggest revenues has declined during the past 2 decades due to climate change and overuse. The river and its tributes provide drinking water for 40 million people, and it integrate millions of acres of cropland. In addition to the 7 United States, the river also crosses into Mexico. See, it provides water supplies and cities and farms in 2 Mexican states as well. So you can get your research on that. That the Colorado River is drying out, and it helping these other states. So they're cutting back on water. Just learned Mississippi just had a flood, and now they're having a water shortage. And I learned it's going to start coming over to the East Coast soon. They're going to start mandating in the sense of people cut down on water. Just so let's get prepared for that. And might as well just start doing something or prepare yourself for water, like gathering water or basically boiling water or keeping water or having some type of idea of getting water. Just continue getting water because definitely it's about to be a water shortage. Now I feel like I said, I be feeling like these people start these forest fires from the ground up, but I'm starting to say only 2 things can happen: either Mother Earth is taking man out, or man trying to take Mother Earth out. You know what I'm saying? But you can't take Mother Earth out because that's what had you. Gave birth to you. This is where you were born in the earth. So I figure it's Mother Earth doing her thing. She is dying in the sense of giving rebirth in itself, death into rebirth. That's why things are happening. All right, we're going to go into, I'm going to read which one it was. I'm going to go into this one right here that I like this, what glaciers are really for in a sense. I don't think it's this page here. It's right here, what these glaciers. Well, let's look at the cause and effects, right? Causes and melting glaciers, burning fossil fuels. People burning these fossil fuels, putting these gas, emissions, of course, oil and gas, sea drilling, deforestation. I started to notice that, like, they are burning so much of this wildlife in the forest down that helps from the heat. You see what I'm saying? The trees and all that helps the heat from overheating. The trees and things help cool down this earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was already here. Then there all these people before started to build things, continue to build, and thinking cities gonna be the thing, but cities is not. You know what I'm saying? They really just deforest a lot of shade and energy, like carbon dioxide. You think about that, oxygen and carbon dioxide that us and the trees are giving each other. And then ice breaking ships, of course. You see what I'm saying? Like, these ships will go out and try to investigate and look at the ice, but and I had to think about it, they out there cracking the ice already if they're trying to go discover something. You see what I'm saying? It's faster. They're doing it already by putting the ships out there. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Shortage of electricity, right? Power shortages, power outages, extreme flooding, biodiversity loss and animals losing homes. Coral reefs will disappear. Wow. But yeah, there are animals. Animals are starting to um, be extinct, right? And they're not started. I want to let's be aware that these animals now are the animals are back then in a sense. People talk about dinosaurs and stuff of that nature. You know, dinosaurs. It was animals that was in different formation then, and now it's animals that we see now. These are the dinosaurs. Just like aliens. If you really look at an insect or things under the water, because we didn't see everything under the water. There's a lot of things under there. And we don't know every little insect on this earth either, because there's some insects that's so small that you won't even notice it's an insect and they just move. And if you look at an insect, it's like an alien. You know, think about it. It's unknown. You can't really identify these insects or underwater things. It's really aliens. The animals are really dinosaurs in a sense. So they try to put it all like a little story, but if you really think about it, it's all everything we're looking at. It's that simple. Um, but coral reefs will disappear. That helps the ocean, the water, cleanse the water and everything. You know, everything happens without us even knowing what's going on. Um, Look at the long-term effects. I'm gonna look at some of this stuff because this is very interesting. Long-term effects: continually melt from glaciers contributes waters to the ecosystem throughout dry months, creating perennial stream habitat and water source for plants and animals. The cold runoff from glaciers also affects downstream water temperatures. And when you think about it, people, the fish in the water, it's going to be a mixture of salt and fresh water. You see what I'm saying? So it's not going to really be fish like surviving as well. Not all fish, but it's like it's going to be a mixture. You see what I'm saying? A lot of things are being in a mix. The benefits: as glaciers melt, they add nutrients to the ocean and fertilize the local ecosystem. In Greenland and Antarctica, the ocean is short on iron. So melting glaciers make up for the lack of iron. Photosynthesizing um, phytoplankton, are the base of the food web in the ocean and require lots of light and nutrients. Okay. I didn't know that, but glaciers provide nutrients for the ocean, so that's why Mother Earth know what she's doing, know what the universe know what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why it has to do what it's doing. It just does what it does. I see it now, even more as I read. On the facts, the thickness of the Arctic ice has decreased by 40% since the 1960s, according to the scientists at the U.S. Center of um, Astrophysics Research. If the certain rate of global temperature rise continues, the Arctic will be free of ice by 2040. The IPCC predicts that sea levels could rise 10 to 23 inches by 2100. Okay, let me just say this though about the Arctic. The Arctic, for one, the Earth is not a globe. Let's start with this globe stuff. They love to put that in the distraction and to make it seem like Antarctica is a what's it called? They're making it seem like Antarctica is like a small little dot under the globe. It's not that. It's a ice wall. You see like that. This is how it really, not like this, but this is how it really is in a sense. It's like an ice wall, a whole around this earth. You know what I'm saying? And all this ice is holding more water. And once this ice right here around this whole wall, because it's certain ice gonna melt, like certain ice gonna just collapse, and then once that ice melt, this sea level gonna continue to rise. And this is the Arctic, in the middle, you know what I'm saying? This is the Antarctica ice wall, the ice wall around it, and this is the Arctic in the middle. So that's what, don't get distracted by this whole globe stuff because it looks so tacky. You see what I'm saying? This shit right here looks so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like they know it's a flat plane, but they making it like so goddamn weird, like so stupid. But anyway, but just be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware of the flat plane. It's not no globe around here. But yeah, so the let's go back to it real quick. Let's go to the article that I was looking at real quick. Cause glaciers are calving. Calving is like just the water. See, what is calving on a glacier? It's basically the warm water under the glacier is melting it. Say calving is when chunks of ice break off at the terminus or end of a glacier. Ice breaks because the forward motion of a glacier makes the terminus unstable. We call these resultant chunks of ice icebergs, which is calving. You know, I'm gonna read this real quick. Is a glacier calving normal? Calving is a glaciological term for medical medical. What I'm saying that right? Yeah, loss. Or supply breaking off or of ice from a glacier. Um, Margin. Calvin is the most common when a glacier flows into water, lakes or ocean, but also occur on dry land where it is known as dry calving. All right, so here's people asking questions. Is the city's gonna be on the water by 2050? All that. But right here, I love how this article starts real quick, and it says glaciers, the great guardians of the stability of the planet of the plane. It's not no planet. You see what I'm saying? They put nets, But even though this is a net, we just like internet, you know what I'm saying? They try to put net at stuff. You see what I'm saying? That means to trap. Only nets. You use a net to trap something. You see what I'm saying? But we already living in the earth. We are really basically in a physical body that's trapped. You know what I'm saying? But, it's a plane. Don't say nets. You know what I'm saying? Because you can ascend from here, right? That's how it works. And that's within yourself. That's how it is. But the melting glaciers is a phenomenon that intensified the 20th century. 20th century, I learned, like, when they say 20th century or 21st century, 20th century is like from the 1900s to the 2000s, not that. 21st is from the 2000s to the 2000s. You see what I'm saying? 18th century is from like what they say 1700s to the 1800s. That's 18th century, like that. But it's leaving the plane. But the 20th century is leaving our plane. I say plane. I don't like saying that net stuff. Iceless. Human activity in the main culprit in the emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. The sea level and global stability depend on how these great masses of crystallized snow evolve. All right, so I'm gonna show you this glacier that's gonna take over Miami and basically Florida. The Twats. I think they call it like. I forgot how they call it. If I'm spelling right. Yeah, I'll probably put it up when I put the word glacier. There, they're right there. So the Watts Glacier, right? This glacier is called the Doomsday Glacier. You see what I'm saying? Could have just put that, That's what they call it, the Doomsday Glacier, right? And that's just a piece of the ice. You know what I'm saying? It's just piece of the ice wall. That's not the whole ice wall. So whatever happened is the Twat Glacier is collapsed. Twat Glacier is nicknamed the Doomsday Glacier. That's because of its potential to rise sea levels. But Twat's collapse isn't the only word. It falls will destabilize other West Arctic glaciers that could drag more ice into the ocean, raising sea levels even higher. And then I want you to know something. When these glaciers does melt, it's it's a huge transformation of the earth. Like this, like everything's going to shift. The whole earth, like even the stars, which is dots or plot or dimensions, the sun, the moon, things are going to start shifting. You see what I'm saying? Because these glaciers are the hold of like this, like they say, the stability, like the grounding point of holding. And now that they're melting, everything has to shift. So the earth is going to be dying to be reborn again. That's why it's different weather patterns. That's why I feel like these people can't really create all this weather. They got technology. They can do hurricanes and heavy winds, but this different weather pattern at times, this is Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? This is something that these men gonna think they're doing. They want us to think they're the ones that are doing it. We gotta blame it on them. They ain't blaming on no one. It's just knowing that Mother Earth is tired of this shit. It's over. It's over, which is beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like the age of this old age is gone. The new age is really coming in. You know what I'm saying? We have to see that. You see that? Earth glaciers has been slightly retreating more than half a century as climate change inexorably marches on. So let me go and get into something else real quick. But yeah, Greenland's ice. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that is starting to melt. The amount of Greenland ice that melted last weekend could cover West Virginia in a foot of water. You see that? And this was in July 20 of 2022. That right there, you see what I'm saying? Just one look, just like and it's still more ice, and it just a chunk of it can be gone, and it cover just a whole state. So the amount of ice that melted in Greenland between January 15 and 17 alone, 6 billion tons of water per day would be enough to fill 7.2 million Olympic swim size pools. 7.2 million. It didn't say 7. It said 7.2 million. Put it another way, if it was enough to cover the entire state of West Virginia, okay? Now, I want you to think, this water, like, we don't know when it's going to all collapse. We don't know when all these glaciers are going to really melt. We don't know when the Tawat's glacier is going to melt. And because people getting time zones, say another decade or so. But as we sitting here right now, as I'm sitting here speaking to you, or as you're doing whatever you're doing, that water, that warm water is still going right now. You can't tell me you're going to know when it's going to melt or something going to just fall like when glaciers collapse. You don't know that when it happens. It just does. That's why time is an illusion. Years and months and weeks and days, that's all an illusion. You know what I'm saying? These people are going to put time frame on everything to keep you in a system, schedule, mindset. But there's no time. It's just happening right now. You know what I'm saying? You can be having fun, but guess what? That warm water just melts in this glacier, and soon later that sea gonna rise, and you don't know what else to do. It's too late. You know what I'm saying? You just have to know what's going on now. But yeah, this is still speaking about the Doomsday Glacier. Right here, melting at fastest rate in 55,000 years. Right, 5.5. You see that 5.5 of freedom and huge number. Go and do numerology. But researchers use penguin bones and shells to track ice loss in Twats and Pine Island glaciers. This was in June 21st, 2022. Right there. So we're gonna get into. I ain't gonna get into much of it. You can start doing your own research. But so that's what's going on. We got to see, like, this Doomsday Glacier. Let me go to it real quick over here real quick. The size about 74,000 square miles. You see what I'm saying? See, this is what they want to ask. How long would it take for it to melt? They won't even know. It said the size of Florida. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. One little chunk of ice twice stores enough. They keep saying it's Florida, size of Florida and UK. Twice stores enough water to increase global sea level almost 3 feet. If it all melted 10 feet, if the ice it helps holds in place slides into the sea behind it, and here the ice is melting at a stunning rate 100 meters, more than 300 feet a year. So it just, it's gonna happen. Now let's look at the cities. They said it's really the coastal lines. What cities were affected by the Doomsday Glacier? The sea level rise was of several meters will inundate many of the world's major cities, including Cheyenne, that's in China, New York, Miami, Tokyo, and Mumbai. It will also cover huge swaths of land in the coastal regions and largely swallow up low-lying islands, nations like Karapita, Tuvalu, and the Maldives, right? So Miami is clearly gone, and then from there it's going to go up to the whole East Coast line. You know what I'm saying? It is going to happen, y'all. Like this is the one I was reading. It's a video where they were talking about the Doomsday getting the fuse has been blown and the Doomsday Glacier is coming for us all. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going to happen. People getting distracted by all this sports shit and president shit and all this other stuff, but the weather is what's going on. Like, the weather is going on. If you go read the book Apocalypse of Thomas. Read the Apocalypse of Thomas, which is the Revelation. And the word revelation is meaning reveal, make known. If you look at the word revelation, I'm going to go here real quick. If you look at that word revelation, revelation, right? It's it has the word revealed in it. You see what I'm saying? Look, well, not revolt, but revelation. You spell it right there. Revelation. Reveal. You know what I'm saying? Like you're revealing. You know what I'm saying? Revealing something. You know what I'm saying? Reveal. Make known of. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm not going to get into too much right now. Well, actually, I pretty much did, because we got the Colorado River drying, glaciers on the Doomsday Glacier, and all other glaciers. You got the ones in Alaska, Greenland. You know what I'm saying? They're all melting. And then you have floods going on, right? We have a lot of flooding going on. Let's look at flooding around real quick. Let's just see. Look, Pakistan, UN appeals for aid in a third country underwater. I was just reading. I didn't read none, but it was just showing something like how would the glacier impact Pakistan, since it just causes flooding, right? Let me see if I can find that. I just saw that somewhere. Right here. Pakistan, how melting glaciers fuel the disaster. You see, we're getting into some real stuff. Fatal floods. Pakistan has more than 70,000 glaciers. Climate change is melting them into flood water. So the glaciers are melting in Pakistan. Glaciers are melting in Pakistan. It says a series of extreme floods has early devastated South Asian nation, which is home to 225 million people, washing away roads and buildings, or built. When you think about a building, people say, I'm going to the building. It's already built. It's really called built or build. It's already done. destroying farms and stranding hundreds of thousands over the weekend, which brought another bout of territorial rain. Government officials said the death toll has soared past 1,000, and water has immutated as much as a third of the country. And it said that, but there's another culprit behind the recent devastation: melting glaciers and snow. Right, melting glaciers and snow. You can get into this. You can read more about it. But yeah, the flooding is going on in Pakistan. Flooding is in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. They said 180,000 without drinking water. It's flooding in Mississippi. But I was driving. I went traveling through Louisiana last year, and I already saw it. As soon as you cross that bridge, you can already feel it, that it was going to flood regardless, and it stayed flooding over there. Once you cross that bridge of New Orleans and stuff, you're going to see it yourself, like, it's going to flood. And now, a year later, it's flooded. But yeah, they're without water, and that's why this water shortage. That's why you have to start not stacking up on water, in the sense of keeping water with you and using it in a useful way. But yeah, there's but flooding happening, droughts happening, glaciers, ice is melting. And then you getting distracted by who's gonna win the Super Bowl, who's gonna play in the NBA Finals, who getting drafted, who's getting traded, all that bullshit, which is a slave shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta come on. This like I was speaking. Like, I could decode all these sports year after year, but these people really laughing at me in a sense still, because you people are still watching it. And then even when I show you who wins, it doesn't even really matter, because they're going to move on to the next game and the next game and the next game. And then you people are just, who are into it, are betting. And then when you bet, it's not a part of the universe, because it's scripted sports. You see what I'm saying? Why you don't bet on wrestling? You see what I'm saying? And so the real in tune ones don't even watch that sports. And for me, I'm done with the whole sports decoding, because that's a waste. That's a waste. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are going to continue to do that shit until y'all know not to watch it. But it ain't going to happen that way, because too many people too into it. But for me, I just know that it's a game. It's all a game. It's all a world stage, role-playing actors. Celebrities are playing different characters of themselves and different people. The sports are rigged, fixed, staged, scripted out for them to lose, win, whoever. I mean, you got to think about that. All that stuff is just staged. Lights, camera, action, a movie. It's nothing gonna do with your life. Nothing. Like, whoever win the Super Bowl is not going to give you electricity in your home or give you water. You see what I'm saying? This shit is dumb. Y'all got to start waking up and get yourself right within yourself, because, it's over. What's to come is already begun. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. What's to come is already begun, because people are waiting on someone to come save them. No one's coming to save. The second coming is already here, in the sense of these glaciers melting away just like they did once before, and it's doing it again. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'm gonna come back with more. We're gonna get into some more insightful things around the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what need to be spoken about, not the distractions. If I'm going to tell you about distractions, I'm going to tell you the distractions. Don't be distracted by that. Get in tune with yourself, get in tune with this universe, get in tune with what's going on, and just know thyself, love thyself, and respect thyself, right? Because you are a creator of your own universe. I am a creator of my own universe. I create what my thoughts, feelings, vibration, and my words say. You know what I'm saying? It's a creation. So I'm gonna come back. I'll return back with more information. it's all peace, love, and just oneness, and just know I'll return back with more soon.